So I might be wrong about that, but for right now, what I'm going to tell you to do is click the publish button, and you get a couple of choices on the right side. You can publish immediately, or you can publish in the future. So what's interesting is that if you actually pull down, you click on publish immediately, there's a calendar. Maybe I have an event on March 1st of 2018. I don't want people to know about it until December, right? So I'm going to use this calendar control, and I'm not going to do it, but I just want to show you. I can advance the month and select whatever date I want, and this will not be published until that date. So you can publish your articles for the future. But if you're like me and you like instant gratification, I just say publish immediately. Now, if I select, let's say October 26th, right away, I'm gonna go to the back of the room here so I can look above. This blog post now says it's scheduled for Thursday at 10:21 a.m. And I can change the time if I want. So I have that. So this is how you know that your blog post is not going to be published until the future. And the future could be this afternoon. However, I want everyone to go to each other's websites today. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the Publish Immediately button, and I'm going to say Publish. And now it's telling me it's publishing. And now this is my new blog post that's up. And here's my Lord Ibsen text. Pretty cool. And I also have a previous post. WordPress gives you previous links so people can navigate between your blog posts. Now, everybody done this, or everybody still need assistance?
I need
Want to help me? Like you take one
no,
person.
right.
Yeah, do you know how to make this?
No, I was. Well, I tried to, but it doesn't seem to work.
No, I don't know. You want to change it to but I don't really want it. I don't want to see it published here.
We got two.
Right, yeah, and I'm doing mine on something I already started.
Yeah, it's not so obvious, but yeah, just type it title in there. So now, I'll show you what, yeah, just start typing. I'll show you how. We're not gonna go
Besides,
So all you just, you're going to change the whole thing to the bottom.
Yeah, I know, well, I'm working on it.
Fair enough.
Well, this is just the themes I've chosen.
Okay.
So this is what you, right, you can say, and then it's automatically published, and then that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Close.
Okay, I'm caught.
You got it? You're good.
All right, thank you.
How's everybody doing? I noticed that a lot of people are having, I'll be back in a minute, a lot of people are having some questions about, some people are having a few issues with a few things. And then I look and I see that you're further along than you thought, which is great. My blog post might look different than yours because I'm using a different theme than you are. So it doesn't have to look exactly like that. As long as you have what you typed and you have your title, you are good to go. So don't, anybody's behind, don't worry, we'll catch everybody up. We just can't do too much, but anyway.
I tried it, see, because I tried to go back to the site, it looks, it just the whole divided all of it. Sorry, I was trying this.
So you would have to edit the part to see that. But we'll see if we can find it together, because it might be a setting here. So,
How do I?
yeah, go back to my site. Look at that. So you change it. I can let you use your setting. Now just go back to my site for a minute. And then click on blog post, yeah, and then look for it. And you got it.
Yeah, so if I can use, it's mine, I found this part, super current.
Yeah, well, see.
That's the reason I should offer for sure relate to that.
Leave it for now, and we'll try to see if we can change the color. You might want to change it.
And size also.
You need CSS for that, and I don't know.
So, but to do everything with our account, customers, everything you do is CSS, otherwise there's no.
Yeah, but you might have some settings. It depends on what your theme sometimes. That's a good question. So there are a lot of questions, and I understand that this is not exactly the most straightforward. And I want to say this, that I've been there before. I had a question right now about how to change the color and the size of the title. That is believe it or not, you might get that in your theme options if the theme that you've selected allows you to do that. They don't all allow you to change the title or the color. So it really, if you don't like the way your site looks, then find another theme. And it's perfectly okay. I mean, there are thousands of themes out there. So if you don't like the way your site looks, you're not locked into it.
You can change the thing even after you post it.
Even after, yeah. I mean, as a matter of fact, you have a lot of traffic coming to your website. They're not going to want to see the same looking website anyway. Everybody updates their sites. We just updated Us Weekly, the magazine, so.
See, I had the same problem is when I go to themes and I have image there and I want to change the size of an image. Again, same issue, I can't do anything. So I tried 15 different templates and I can't do anything in there.
Yes, because the question is that a lot of these modern themes today are made for mobile devices, by the way. When I got into website design, there were no mobile devices, okay? And there's actually a term for that in the web design field. It's called responsive. Responsive websites, your responsive site, and you might read the theme descriptions and it might say, hey, this is responsive. And that's what you want, because you want people to be able to go to your website and make it look really good on a mobile device. Everything today is mobile first because people travel with their mobile devices. They don't travel with their laptops or their desktops. So when you're looking for a new theme, you can read the description and make sure it says responsive. And if that's the case, there are options, depending on who wrote the theme, that will allow you to change that image. But every theme developer has their own set of options. So you're welcome to change the theme, but also look for a theme option that allows you to change that image. It may be available, and it may not be. It all depends on what the theme developer decided to do before that theme became available.
So there's no way you can change your own, because I went through literally 15 sites to find something and I was not able to find it, to change the site. So what do you suggest for that situation?
Okay, so the question is, if I can't change the image,
Yeah, customize the image, like if I tried, I mean, I can change the size according to that, but I just had a hard time trying to customize it according to what I want. What do you suggest? I mean, and I tried literally 15 different websites to see if I can customize it, but most of them don't give you any controls on anything.
that's true. Everybody hear the question? Well, actually, the question is that if you download a certain theme and it has a top cover image, and that image really isn't relevant to your content or the theme of your own website, then how do I change it? Or am I stuck with it?
No, I can change it. I know how to change it, but the dimensions, I'm stuck with are we stuck with the dimensions? Because that's not a dimension.
Yeah. Then the question is, am I stuck with the dimensions? The dimensions are the width of that image and the height of that image. And yes, because you still want the website to look as best as possible on desktop and mobile. So the theme developer picked a certain dimension at that moment. What you can do is you can actually search Google with that dimension. There are search tools that you can't just put a keyword in, you can actually put the dimensions in and Google will return you those images with that size.
I'm creating my own dimension.
That's great. And then you can download it.
Could you also do the same thing, do your own version and say it's not in Photoshop, and then just apply the image?
Yes.
I did that, but every time I got the image back, it did not fit. Pixel to pixel, it was exactly the same, and I can show it to you. And when I come back, it still doesn't fit.
That's probably, there are ways that Google Chrome has, and actually Firefox does too, has what's called developer tools. I'm not saying you have to be a developer, but what you can do with developer tools is you can right-click over the image and it will give you the exact width and height. You might think, without that the image you have is going to fit, but then if you look at it on a different size monitor or a different device or a tablet or a phone, it might not scale correctly. I know what the issue is. And some of these themes, they will suggest to you what the dimension should be. So that's probably what's going on, is you are not using the right dimensions. But it's hard to tell. Because what happens is responsive images just scale themselves depending on the device. And each device is called, when you're looking at a website, the term is called a viewport. A viewport. This one word, compound, viewport. Yes?
So